What's up, fight fans? Matt the Beast Tucker here, being joined with a very special guest, former heavyweight champ of the world, Junior Dos Santos. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm great. It's an honor to speak with you today. Been watching you
Thank
for
you.
a long time. You got a big fight coming up, September 8th versus Fabricio Werdum. Kind of a full circle moment for you. You actually fought him during your UFC debut. You knocked him out in just over a minute. How do you improve on that this time?
Well, we are completely different fighters, different people, person today. It's a completely different scenario. Actually, it was 15 years ago, so everything is different today. I think we both got much better and much more experience on everything we are doing. As fighters, and I think that's very interesting. Actually, that makes the fight very interesting. Actually, because I became champion, he became champion, and then everybody was always talking about making this fight happen again. We had some opportunities in the UFC, but it didn't really happen. So now Masvidal is putting the fight together, and it means a lot, to us. And I think it's the moment is a great moment, and we're gonna be there to fight in this new style of bare knuckle, and which have been calling a lot of attention, and people are really enjoying to see this type of fight. Like actually, we are going back in the day, at the beginning of the fight, the whole sport, the whole story of the sport. And I'm very excited, about everything, about to have the fight happening here in Florida, where I live, to be in Game Bread, and to be the date, the opponent. Everything looks good.
I saw some photos from your Miami workout. You look absolutely shredded right now and ready to go. How good are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling great. I'm doing an excellent training camp. We also said about that the USADA is not around all the time testing us, so I'm able to take my supplements fine. My pre-workouts, everything. To burn fat, to build muscle, and that makes a big difference. I have been learning a lot from everything what happened with me and USADA. They took me out back in the day. They took me out 1 year of the competition because they found traits of a very cheap diuretic on me. So they took me out 1 year
Mm.
because of that. And in my mind, everything what I've been learning, and talking with the guys with expertise on that, uh, they, that wasn't really fair, because the direct they found on me, I would have to take like liters to hide something on me, and I've been always playing the fair game, and then somehow that thing happened to me and made me very scary of everything, and especially me, that I was doing, the best I could on everything. And then that thing happened, and I was 1 year out. And afterwards, we couldn't have nothing, even BCAAs, things like that, like you gotta always report, and some of the supplements they can be contaminated with the things what we end up they end up discovering what happened with my supplement. But the thing is, traits of a very cheap diuretic wouldn't do anything on me and wouldn't hide anything on me. Do you really believe they didn't know that?
Right. Yeah.
That's
You
my
you
point. Of
you
course they did, but they still took me out 1 year. So it was hard for me, little by little things. Those little things were kind of being heavier and heavier for me, and take me out, putting my mind away of the main goal, which was putting my performance on my best performance to fight.
Right. Yeah. You see a lot of folks having issues with USADA. Yoel Romero, for instance, he got a fat lawsuit from them. Same deal, uh, but it's a very interesting time to be a free agent right now. You look at folks like Nate Diaz, Anderson Silva, your buddy, getting into boxing. You know, after this fight, what are your plans? Are you thinking about maybe boxing, or are you gonna stick with bare knuckle MMA?
I was uh, I was thinking about boxing before of this, because because I'm a boxing guy. I had the boxing thing. I am like someone like people are fighting boxing these days, but they what kind of boxing they have. Even Francis Ngannou now fighting Tyson Fury. What kind of he has knockout power. What kind of boxing skill he has? That's kind of hard. And I was always this guy, this boxing guy. And the truth is, I never showed my real potential on boxing
Mhm.
because I'm always grappling. I'm always doing jiu-jitsu, wrestling, Muay Thai things. It holds me back. Now I can see, I'm always tight. My arms don't go as they should go because I'm training the grappling side. I have to train, so that's why I was thinking about doing boxing because I would be more on the thing that it's more natural for me. I love MMA. I love to be who I am. I love to compete that, but boxing is my natural thing. I like even not training. If I go to the gym, I can do like 20 rounds of boxing and things. And I was able to train with some tough guys around, and I have everything what it takes, to beat some of these guys, especially because we are talking about MMA, about boxing now, and the MMA guys they are going there to just Anderson did pretty good, but yeah, did great actually, but all the other guys they just go there to make money, and the boxers they're kind of using that to 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 keep their status that they're winning fights against MMA guys. No
Yes.
way. Why don't you fight against someone who has really boxing? Like myself or something like that. But it's not happening. It's been hard to negotiate with them and to make a deal happen. The big guys, the big boxing guys, which is my goal, they don't want to really fight. They have to follow the process or something. They don't want to. It's not interesting for them or somehow. And the guys that want to fight me, the promoters don't want to make it the fight. So it's been hard. So now I'm happy that I'm with Great Game Bread Promotions, that they have this this great fight for me now, which is they're doing, and they also have boxing. So I'm very excited about everything what's possible for us to build and on this new chapter now.
Yeah, for sure. What are your thoughts on Francis versus Tyson? You faced Francis. Uh, unfortunately, you didn't come out on the right side of that. Do you think he has a shot against Tyson with that power?
Well, fight. You always have a shot. He has that amazing knockout power. Everybody knows, but now the gloves will be a little bigger, and boxing really boxing skills. I don't see much, on him, on that of that building moments. Using the jab, using a lot the jab, using positioning yourself well, moving around, positioning yourself. Because boxing, like people just think about punches. No, like 40 or maybe I don't know more, 50%. It's movimentation, it's footwork. You have to position yourself well to get good moments, good punches, good delivering good punches. I don't see that on Francis Ngannou. I like him. Everything he has been doing. I'll be rooting for him. I want him to win, but I see very little chances for him to win this fight. He's fighting again someone like amazing, like Tyson Fury, who's huge, who's has a long reach and deals very, very well with all of that, with his size, his weight, everything. So I don't see, I see little chances, because fight is fight. We always have chances, to make things happen. And I hope he can make it, especially at the beginning, to really make it happen at the beginning. But I see it coming down as something like it was Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor. You
Mm.
know, like a really skilled guy, which was Floyd Mayweather, boxing guy, amazing, man. Probably the best of the history of everything what he did, or the people he fought with. He went against someone who had power, knockout power, and he did whatever he wanted to do in that fight. And he took 10 rounds, not because of corner, because he delivered. He was it was an obligation for him to deliver a show. He should make things happen. He should allow the fight happen in a little, because he needs to deliver that show for the people. I'm not saying, I'm not taking anything away from Conor, but boxing is got a completely different world, and the fight was the way it was because Floyd allowed it to happen that way. He was making like $360,000 million, of his purse, only his purse. So he was obligated to deliver a show for everybody, and he did. So if the fight gets longer now, Tyson Fury and Ngannou, I see something like that happening. They need to deliver a show, so they will allow the fight to go a little more. If not, but of course, there is the danger of Ngannou getting the close distance and throwing those bombs. But the thing is, it's boxing. You stand up, count to 10, and go again. It's different.
Right. Yeah. If he does pull off the impossible, though, and get that upset, it really opens things up for guys like you.
Wow, that's gonna be amazing.
You know,
And that's what
like
I'm looking for.
yeah, exactly. If if that does happen, like who would you want to face in boxing?
I don't pick opponents like I always said. I told, I was telling, like, of course they maybe they never heard about it, or I don't know if it got to them, But I was facing like, oh, me and Ngannou, we should make a boxing fight before he fighting in real boxing, so then he would have some experience or something like that. But of course, now that's the fight he needs to make, of course, especially to make money and things like that. I'm happy for him, but I don't pick opponents. Any one of them, Anthony Joshua, the Bronze Bomber, Andy Ruiz, any one of these guys. I really believe I can give them some hard moments, especially if I'm training only boxing, because today I feel, like I told you, I'm always kind of tight because I have to work hard on the grappling side. Imagine like I'm free of it, only focus on the boxing thing. My arms will go, bro. My arms will be loose. Will be going hard, And I think even for me, I know I can deliver much more, and people see much more of me, of myself, if the fight's only boxing.
It's interesting that it's bare knuckle. Are you training anything specific for that? Mike Perry talks a lot about turning his punches in order to cause cuts, stuff like that. Are you able to spar? How are you training for this?
Yeah, I'm not sparring in bare knuckle. It's kind of it's hard to do it. It would hurt our ourselves.
Mhm.
And I'm doing the training normally. Everything what I can do, like hitting pads or bag work, things like that. I've been doing without the gloves,
Mhm.
and yeah, trying to understand a little better and to get used to it a little better. But yeah, the glove itself is always there to protect our hands. It's not to protect the guy's face. But
Right.
and that's the big difference. You have the danger of breaking your hands, and you're gonna have a little bit more cuts on your face. So that's the biggest difference. Everything else is kind of the same.
Yeah, you've had an interesting post UFC fight career. You did a little pro wrestling, your last fight in Eagle FC. You're actually winning the fight, but then had a shoulder injury. What exactly happened with your shoulder? And are you good to go now? Like what happened?
Yeah, now I'm good. It takes a long time, two surgeries and like 1 year and a half, kind of, to get healed, to get good to go again. And it was a kind of a complicated surgery, because to keep competing, we had to do a surgery called latarjet, which is it's a surgery that makes your they take a piece of the bone with a tendon and reattach on the side of the bone, so then the tendon goes in front of the humerus, something like that, and then it's harder for the shoulder to come out of the place. But the thing is, yeah, I had a beginning of the last year. I January, around that, my shoulder, I dislocated my shoulder, and then once more, a few months later, 2 months later, and that was enough to stretch all the tissues in there. So it's much easier for the shoulder come out of the place. But I was training, and I was training hard. I was doing sparring. I was doing great on training for that fight, and I was feeling ready. And the shoulder was being there for everything. So I said, okay, I knew I had to be cautious about it, to be careful with that. But that's why I did that fight. I could go a little harder, for the knockout or something like that. I like to do. But I knew I had to take my time to move around and take and little by little, make my points, and win the fight. And I was doing great, actually. The first round to second round, everything was doing great. My opponent wasn't even hitting me. I was kicking, punching him all the time. I was feeling comfortable and very nice. I was thinking with myself, and something that maybe it's so hard to do in a fight, but I was able to realize everything what I was doing, to be cautious about everything. And I was feeling very good. But then at the beginning of the third round, I was trying to reach. I was punching him, and I was trying to reach him. He was a little farther, and I was trying to reach his body with a cross. Yeah, and then my shoulder pulled out of the place,
Mm.
and I was trying to put it back. To put it back right away, but because I know if it goes back to the place, I don't feel that pain anymore, and I can go. I would go only with with the one, but it didn't go back to the place, and then we end up having the doctor stopping the fight and things like that. It was sad. It was hard, because we were doing everything we should do, the best way we could do. We were doing, and somehow, I was feeling like things weren't uh, happening because because something else. I don't know. Your mind is, man. Our mind is crazy. It makes us. It put us in trouble a lot. And but now it's in the past. I take as another learning process, and let's move on.
So wrapping up, I know you're short on time. How do you see this rematch with Fabricio going? Any predictions?
Uh, I'm gonna knock him out. again. There's nowhere to go. It's gonna happen.
Quicker than the last time, or what?
I don't know exactly. Then it depends on of him, not just on me. I know I'm gonna knock him out, but the time it's gonna happen, it's a mix of factors that they gotta get together. But I'll build them. I'll build them. Maybe it can take a little longer. Maybe it's gonna be, if I see the thing right in front of me, it's gonna be even faster. But it's hard to predict the time. But I'm gonna knock him out.
You heard it here first, Junior. It's been a pleasure meeting you, man. I've been watching you for a long time. I wish you the best on September 8th, and I'll see you in Jacksonville.
Nice. Thank you very much, man, and see you there.